Thank you, parents, for tuning in to the 2021 Fairhope football parent meeting. We're doing this, we're filming this from the field house here at Fairhope High School, and I thank you for tuning in. There's several things we've got to cover or we want to mention so that you'll be knowledgeable about what's going on with our football team. First of all, I'd like to kind of introduce or talk about our staff. So a lot of this will be seen also on an overlay that you'll be given when this is edited. Joel Williams, our offensive coordinator, returns this year. Along with him, we have Vaughn Messina, who is our offensive line coach. Al Ernest will do receivers. Chuck Nelson will work with running backs. On the defensive side, I will coordinate the defense, but I also have Brett Horn and Blake McDonald, who've worked for me a couple of years, and Logan Smith, who will also be with our linebackers. We will have an additional 2 coaches added this summer. We already know who they are, but we can't talk about them until the board affirms their hiring. So, but we're excited about 2 new additions that I'll introduce to you a little later on. 9th grade will be headed by Coach Clay Matchin. His staff will consist of Chris Dabney, Ben Monk, and then we have some volunteer helpers in Hunter Griffin and Noah May. They've done a good job. They've done that for 2 years. There's some key support people that we want to mention through the course of this. First of all, our athletes received their on-the-sidelines help from Bayside Orthopedic. We're grateful for that. Dr. Detterman is our team doctor. And then we also have Encore Rehab available at all times. They do our PT, and they actually keep 2 trainers here that are on staff. We have Marley Carnavale and Josh Logan, who are here full-time. So we're really excited about that. Also, Ms. Sharon Pippin, who's helping me do this video today, is somebody that will be a contact person for you during the course of the year. And we'll tell you how to tune into that a little bit later on. All right? As you'll see our board here, BAM. BAM is our theme for this year in 2021. It stands for, it's an acronym for Be a Man. You know, and in that, it's a couple of components. We want young men that will learn how to stand on their own 2 feet. Take responsibilities for their actions. Treat others with dignity and respect. Fellow players, the opposition, their coaches. And then also live with the consequences of your actions, and then be smart enough to sit there and figure out a plan of action going forth from that mistake or from that positive result. So that's all of what goes into the theme of Be a Man, BAM. A couple of things we've done over the course of time, and I want you to be aware of. We've made a lot of improvements. In 2014, when I came here, our field house, we had just built an indoor facility for weights and all, and we were in the transformation process. And what we've done is we've done a great deal, and you'll see some of the slides here that show the improvement of our main meeting room. Also serves a little bit as a dressing room for our 9th and 10th graders. It's a big open space. It used to be our weight room. You can see we've done a lot of painting and cleaning to make it much more acceptable. And then in the back, we took the old varsity locker room. We put our seniors and juniors in there because of the size constrictions, and it gives them more room, and it gives us a little bit more room to spread out, and it's really worked well. We also made some improvements to our bathroom. We tiled the floor, and we're really proud of a lot of the improvements that you'll be able to see in this video. Also, I'm real proud of our laundry room. What we do here, I think, is a real exception, is that we do all the kids' laundry that are on the varsity football team. When they become a varsity player, is they turn in a loop at the end of every practice. We wash their practice cloth as well as their game uniforms. And as you can see, our laundry room is state-of-the-art now. We have bought 2 industrial washers. We have an industrial dryer. And what it allows for us to do is to run it a lot quicker than we originally did. But we've done this from the first day I got here, when we had 2 household washers and just a normal household dryer. Now we actually have a little bit better facility to work with, but we're real proud of that. And what we've had is we've had a success with not having staff. I think we've only had 2 kids in 6 years. That's phenomenal with the amount of young men that we're working with. And we've been able to maintain cleanliness, and I think that's really important. And so anyway, that is an area we're really proud of. Also now you're looking at our indoor facility. Our indoor facility is second to none. It's the best in the county. We have 24 weight racks with a turf space out in the middle. We're real proud of it. It allows us to do a little bit of indoor work, but really what it does, it allows us to train our entire team at one time. It cuts down on the time that we have to spend rotating in and out of the weight room. It also serves other sports, and we're really proud of. This was a joint effort from Single Tax to the City of Fairhope to our Booster Club, and that's why we want to support those entities so that we can make sure we have some facilities such as this. You're now looking at our outdoor practice fields. We're real proud of that. City helps us maintain them, but coaches also cut them. And we have 2 great practice fields. Our 9th grade uses one along with the varsity, and then the closest field is reserved for the varsity. One thing I want to tell you about our practice field, you're looking at a diagram now. It shows you we have a shed in the middle and then the 2 practice fields on each side. During the course of our practice, we encourage you to come watch. We're grateful for that. Also look for spies. I appreciate that. If there's somebody you don't know, go ask them who they are. Let's make sure that we don't have the opposition coming here to watch us practice. But it is open, but I do ask that you not get between the fields. There is enough room on the outside of the fields to sit around the fields. You can bring a lawn chair if you would like. You can sit in your car and watch it from the parking lot. But just stay out of the middle because those are our areas of operation, and we're constantly transitioning, and we don't want to be bumping into parents and spectators during the course of practice. All right. I want to stress today the role of a parent, and I think it is to stay involved. Today, I think the attitude can sometimes be, my child's 16, he can drive now. I've kind of seen him through the elementary years, the middle school years. We need you to stay involved. They need you to stay involved. I think the high school years are the most impressionable years. I do think there are new things that they are exposed to at that age, and I really stress that we want you to stay involved. Some of the ways you can do that, come to practicing games. Be a part. Be there. You would not believe how many times a kid will tell me, hey, my dad's going to be there tonight. They're really proud when they have a parent show up, more so than they will sometimes indicate to you. We also will have some activities. We're going to do a cleanup day at the stadium that we'll advertise. Come be a part of that. Participate in our fundraisers because that really keeps the cost of playing low for our players, and so make sure that your kid follows through on fundraising and look for maybe some way to help out. Monitor your child's academics. I can't stress that enough. Get on the Ncaa portal as a parent and check on their grades. It's usually a correlation between how well a kid's doing academically and how much parent involvement they have in their academic process. Because we have 100 and something kids to kind of look after and check on, but you have 1 or 2. Please help us in doing this. We're glad to support you, but I'm telling you, it has to be parent-led when it comes to academic success. And also just understand the different options they have available to them in their academic world. You know, maybe it's a technical school, but also just really make sure that you're aware of what they're doing academically. To play and be eligible for high school competition, a student has to pass 4 core classes every year. That includes English, math, social studies, and science. It has to be in one of those disciplines. Then they must pass also 2 electives. Our students are here on a 7-period day. So that means they have 1 period to play with. And usually that is their athletic period or their football period. So they have to be successful in the classroom to continue to participate. Please make sure we monitor that. Another thing I want to mention is the Ncaa Clearinghouse. That is an online site that you can sign up for, and our counselors will help with that and provide information, but it's something that you can Google and find quick, easy access. And if you have a son that is recruitable, they need to be on this site. They need to get their information entered, and you can do that with the help of a counselor. But it's easy to follow. There are a few documents, though, that they would need from the school to get signed up. All right. Also, a transcript. I don't know if you can see it here, but your child's transcripts are what determines their ability to be eligible. For high school competition, they have to have a 70 average overall. That's when everything's added together. And they have to have A's, B's, C's, or D's and pass a class in order for it to count as far as their high school eligibility. But for college eligibility, it requires a 2.5 GPA, which is somewhere between a B and a C. All right, so just make sure that you're aware of where they sit as far as their eligibility for collegiate activities. We've had quite a few athletes that have had the ability to go to school as far as their athletic ability, but they did not have the academic requirements. So stay involved with that and really encourage that. All right, also to play football, we know that it requires money. And football basically generates money from the football program from about 4 different events that we do. Number one is our gate receipts. When you pay for a ticket to get in a game, that is probably our largest source of revenue. It takes about $125,000 on a yearly basis to operate all our levels of football from 8th grade up. You're basically talking about 3 teams. Our 8th grade, our 9th grade, our varsity. Our JV football team are kids on our varsity who are younger that will play down on Monday nights. So really those 3 teams, we're talking about 250 kids it requires about $125,000 budget a year. Football's very expensive. And so we do some different things. We have our gate receipts, and usually on an average year we'll generate about $60,000 at the gate in all of our levels: 8th grade, middle school ball, 9th grade football, and then of course varsity. 2020 was not that year. We had to reduce stadium capacities, and therefore that number was much slower. Thank goodness we had a little bit of extra, and so we're operating kind of in our reserves right now. Another group that does a great job is our football sponsorships, our corporate sponsors. We've got a great group of corporate sponsors. Please fraternize those businesses, or at least thank them for what they do to keep the cost of football low. And we'll run a list of those here in a minute that you can slow down and look at to see who are participating. And hopefully we'll have some new members, and we will update that list so that they get recognition for that support. We also do a golf tournament. It's held in August. I think it's usually the first weekend. It's on your parent handout that we will show later on. Encourage teams to play because that generates around $10,000, and that's a very good event. Martin Myrick heads that golf tournament up, so we can also, you'll know who to maybe ask a question about as that grows nearer. Player participation. Our kids, we give them pirate cards as an opportunity to go out and sell. They can do that. There's also a sheet called a Canon sponsor that gives a corporate business or just a parent shout out. It puts a banner on the fence that's seen at the ball games, but it goes to help that young man pay for his fees and dues. And then there'll also be a GoFundMe opportunity for those kids as well. All right? Now, here's a list of some of those sponsors from a year ago. We've updated that list, and we will be updating as we go since we are now selling for 2021. All right. Also, I want to mention that the participation fee is only $280, and we'll have some get a little less. We'll have some get a little more when they raise it. It's just easier for some kids than others, but they all have to do something. That is the goal we set, though, $280, and we do give the kids several avenues to do that. But I want you to look at all the things that cost factors that go into this your young man playing football. We give them cloth, cleats, shorts, travel shirt, a polo shirt. We provide meals. There's just a list of some of the meals that we feed them. Equipment costs. Naturally, your child won't take his shoulder pads with him, but there's a cost of having shoulder pads. The average helmet costs us $300, and you know they only have a life of 10 years. We recondition them every year, $40 a helmet. So there are a lot of costs that I would safely say it's $800–900 per kid per year. So that's why our corporate sponsors are so important. That's why our fundraising activities are so important, because we do try to keep the cost extremely low for our kids. We want no kid in Fairhope not being able to play if they have the desire to play. Also, we do do the PBJ program, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and milk. You know, that's a fund you can also contribute to. Now, with the COVID, we kind of cut it out this year because we had to be really careful about food distribution. That's something we'll be cranking back up soon as some of those restrictions are being lifted. But that's something we're real proud of. So I wanted to mention that as well. All right, eligibility. We're going to give you the information for the academic forms, or excuse me, the participation forms that they have to do. It's now stored by the state in a system known as Dragonfly. And as you'll look on the screen, you'll notice the directions for signing up and going in and getting involved, getting your child signed up through Dragonfly. There are several forms that they have to produce. You've got a concussion form. There is a physical that most of our kids have already done in January, and several other participation forms that the state of Alabama requires. That is an Alabama High School Athletic Association requirement. So please go on Dragonfly, follow the steps. If you were to have any difficulties, please contact us and we'll help lead them through that. Coach Horn does a lot of our Dragonfly and our paperwork. He's kind of our academic oversight, and he makes sure that our Dragonfly account is up to date and your child has the information necessary. All right. Now I just want to mention something right here about our expectations for our players. First of all, Baldwin County has an athletic handbook that talks about consequences and the discipline and expectations. You can go on the Baldwin County website to access that athletic handbook, and we want to make sure that our young men are doing the same restrictions as our softball team, our baseball, so it's a uniform policy of discipline activities. Outside of that, here's what we ask. We want consistent attendance. If they're going to play, they need to be here. And we have those expectations are understood. Secondly, we want a positive attitude. You know, we want a kid that comes in here and is coachable and wants to work every day to improve and be a good teammate. There's no promises about playing time. There's no promises about a certain role your child will play. They get to be a part of a team. And with that, we require a great attitude for them to work well with others. And then lastly, and not least, great effort. We want our kids to work hard. We want them to hustle. We want them to battle through difficult situations. We want them to be positive in defeat and learn from it. Maybe not be happy in defeat, but be positive to where we come back and improve, because we all know that's falling short is a lesson of life. It happens all the time. It's something that can occur over and over, and we want them to have the toughness and the resilience to continue on. And we ask those things of our players, and we ask those things of our coaches. And so every day in here we want them to have a positive experience, but definitely a productive experience. So some days they're going to leave unhappy. That's part of the game. Someday they're not going to play well. One day they maybe got scolded a little bit out at practice. But I'll promise you, we love them. We want them to be the best they can be. And, you know, that's part of that BAM. Be a man. And, you know, day in, day out, that's what we'll participate under. All right, spring training starting. Tonight is Monday, April 26th, and today we started practice. We've got 15 days to get 10 workouts in. And so we'll do that over the next 3 weeks. That will culminate on May 13th with a game at Valanta versus Saraland. That game will start at 6 o'clock, and we're excited about just an opportunity to get together. Saraland's a great program, and they're coming here, and we're going to play at 6 o'clock at Valanta. After spring training, we'll evaluate. Hopefully your child will have made the team, because that is our form of tryouts. And then in the summer, we move into our summer requirements. Now, we're very flexible in the summer. We give them some time prior to the first Monday in June. I think it's June the 7th is when we'll kick that our weight training off. That gives them a little break. And we have 2 off weeks in July that also gives them some built-in breaks. We have a total of 19 days, and we require them to make 16. That does not eliminate them from the team, but if they fall short of that number, they have some makeup to do. Remember, we're in a very competitive situation in 7A football, and we have to train. But we also give our kids flexibility enough to do other things, and I think that's really important. A lot of our competitors go 4 days a week from 7 to 12, and I think that's a little much, and I think rest is important. And we encourage, we go in the morning, so basketball, baseball, all these kids can play other sports and do other things. They can work and have a summer job. So, but you'll look, that is informative about what days we're available, and that goes all the way up to August the 2nd when we start practice. We lift on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays in the morning from 7 to 10, but on August the 2nd, we start fall football practice. We play Spanish Fort 3 weeks after that start date. There are no conflicts in jobs. They need to be here. Some days we might have 2 days. So just your child will be told plenty in advance, but we need to have no work conflicts past that point. And, you know, we also need to have consideration when you're scheduling dental appointments, when you're doing those kind of things. Please understand, practice time is sacred in the afternoon. Try to make those at times where it's not a conflict, okay? If there is something that arises, please reach out to me. We have everything from death to the family to hospitalization issues. Just reach out, keep us informed. We're glad to work with you on all of those conflicts. All right, dates of interest. You see some of the things. April 26th, spring practice begins. May 13th, we play Saraland. June the 7th, the weight room starts. June 22nd and 23rd, we have a senior retreat. We take our seniors to spend the night at Camp Baldwin this year. And we do team building activities, leadership talks, and we have a lot of fun. As you can tell, we're going to try to wind up our fundraising with pirate card sales by July the 15th. That's for everybody. That way we can account for it and we can move on and start worrying about football and not raising money. That would be the same that I would ask for our Cannon sponsors and also our corporate sponsors, because then we can put the program together and those people can get their recognition. We will take a late arriver with a corporate sponsor, but you know, they may miss out on some of it. If it's late, they may miss out on a game or two, or be a little late getting their signs ready. But anyway, that's a target date. July the 15th, we would like to have those activities finished up. July 29th, we take pictures. That's on a Thursday. We do it following a workout. So if for some reason your child is absent that day, that's one of their misses that they can have, then they might not be in the program that year. We have had a chance to sometimes make up a picture, but that's totally by chance. Maybe, may not, but July the 29th is a very important day for them to be here and take pictures. August the 2nd, we start practice. August the 7th, we have our golf tournament. So please remember to encourage people to play in that. We usually can have somewhere around 24, 25 teams at Lakewood. It's a great golf course. August the 8th, Fairhope First Baptist always has something for our team. We have a team night where they have a speaker come in. We feed them a great meal. Last year it was a steak dinner. Who knows what Bill Stemmer's got planned this year, but I know I'm excited. Food's great, and it's a great opportunity. And then on August the 19th, Thursday, football season begins at Spanish Fort. It'll be a premier game where we open up with Spanish Fort, kind of a hometown rivalry or a county rivalry that you know, we were fortunate last year to get the victory there, so we know that'll be a very difficult test, but we're excited. August 19th, on that Thursday, we kick it off. I'll provide my contact information. Please be considerate when you're calling me on, nothing after 8 o'clock maybe. If you do, just text me and I'll try to get back with you in the next day. But I do want you to be able to reach out to me personally. My email address is also available. That's easy, and I'll try to get back when I get an opportunity. But this is a joint effort. And I stress again, I love that when you are involved. I don't discuss playing time. I don't discuss what position your child plays. I will discuss it with your child. We're teaching them to be men, and they can always come in my office and we'll sit down and talk about it. But if there's something that's going on with your sons, something he's dealing with, please reach out and keep us aware. Again, we're excited about the 2021 year. And I want you to be very cognizant of, I show our schedules here. They should be permanent. They should be good. So lock the dates in when we're home and away. We've got 5 JV games available, which is a good number. And we try to honor those games. Sometimes a team will cancel on us. Hopefully we'll get as many of those 5 in as we can. Hopefully we'll get them all. But we're excited about that. There will be a couple of things available over the course of this year that we want to do. I'd like to clean the outside of this football facility. It's got some algae and it needs to be brushed off. We need to probably power wash it and clean it. We'll have a day when we're doing that. As well as going to the stadium and doing some work out there. One thing I'm really excited about is our mayor, Sherry Sullivan, has really gotten active and encouraging and helpful to our athletics. And we want to reach out and let them know how much we appreciate city facilities. We're going to have a cleaning day at the stadium. We're going to power wash the stadium bleachers and do some general cleaning out there. They do a great job of maintaining the field, but this is a joint effort. We probably need to clean locker rooms. And I'll give you a list of some things we're going to do later on, and I'll give you a date which that's going to be made available. We will have our players present because we want them to get out there and learn that this is a shared effort and how proud they are of their community by showing that they want to get out and get involved. Also, we're going to redeck our scout tower. So if you're a craftsman or handy, we'll get a date where we try to put new flooring down and make it a little bit safer and secure. Some of the boards are getting old on it. I'm a little nervous about people standing up there and filming. So it's time to redeck that. We lost the tower in the end zone during Hurricane Sally, and we'll see, maybe we'll be able to put something back in the place of that. So there'll be some things that we'll reach out to you, and if you can help, that would be great. But one thing about being in Fairhope is just the pride. It's a great community, and we try to give our kids the best opportunity of being a part of a team and hopefully having success. We've enjoyed some of that. We've had tough times as well. But one thing is that this community is resilient, and our team will also reflect that resilience. Before you go, there's a couple things I want to mention. Senior parents, you need to make contact with Miss Pippin. That information is available to you tonight. Please reach out. I would like all parents to reach out so we can have your email address and that you can be put in a group to where we can contact you when we have inclement weather, we have some kind of disruption, that we can make you aware. If a game's canceled or something, that we can reach out to you very quickly, and you don't have to find out through the news. You can find out from our link or our Remind group or whatever we choose to communicate with.
Hey parents, I'm going to jump in right here and tell you about a few things that I helped Coach Carter with through the season. The first is the Sunday suppers for our coaching staff. You may not realize it, but they put in a lot of hours on the weekends that usually are not accounted for them financially. So one way we like to encourage our coaching staff is to provide supper for them on Sundays. We will circulate a list through your email that will list the dates that we need people. But in addition to that, and that's usually 4 people per Sunday, then I like to have a caller that will call those parents and remind them that it's their week to serve. And we like to kind of know what you're serving so they don't end up with 6 weeks of lasagna. So that's one way we try to avoid that. The other thing is senior night. When senior night comes up, it's a special time, as we all know, but that also takes some coordination. That's where I need a 10th and an 11th grade parent for the 2021 school year to help with coordination. If that's you, you can send me an email saying I'd love to help coordinate that. And basically it's just like keeping the BBs on the table, keeping the parents on the field, keeping them coming down the line. And then another thing is, I know I've mentioned email a couple of times. if you're not getting email from me, clearly I don't have your email address. So I'm going to pop it up here on the screen, which, by the way, is just really weird videoing yourself. Just going to point that out, how awkward that is. But anyway, here's my email address. I work at First Baptist Fairhope. I'm the communications director there. So if you need anything, you can call me there, or you can send me an email. I keep my email open all the time. Also, we have a Remind group for all football parents. I'd like for you to join that, and the information is right here as well. Join that group and you'll get all the information about the games. When I upload pictures, I'll shoot out a link to that. Also, if you're a senior parent, you're going to be sent information on joining a senior text group. That's pretty critical for senior parents to be in the know about things coming up this season, as it will be a great season for their Pirate player. The other thing is we take pictures and video, or I take pictures and video of the games, and I like to make them available to you. That's free. Those photos are housed on First Baptist Fairhope's SmugMug account. And once you get that link, you'll want to check that gallery each week for pictures of your child. You can download those for free. That's no cost to you. You'll want to just be sure to follow the Pirates on Instagram and Twitter, and be sure that you're following the Fairhope Football Pirate Nation page. Dotsie Carter and I manage that page, so if you send us a message through there, that's who's going to be responding to you. Again, it's going to be a great season. I look forward to helping you behind the scenes, and if there's anything I can do to help you, you've got my contact information there. Feel free to reach out to me, and we're going to make this a great season. Go Pirates!
You've got your dates of you've got the dates of interest that we made available to you. Let us know if you have conflicts, and I will also need some people during our JV game, parents to do the change, and somebody to do the PA and clock. So on JV games, if you have a child playing, please come see me. You may want to sign up. I'll put your name down. And that way we can have those JV nights be just as special as our varsity games as well. Thank you, and go Pirates.